This is Bumpus in the C room on May the 4th. I'm playing this video back a little slower. It's going to be at 0.7 speed because I like to see the slow movement of dogs, see what they're doing. This is him first entering the room. It's fairly relaxed, I think. But watch how he places his paws. He's very precise in how he places his paws, and he's not stepping on the lick mat. He's not stepping on the other things. He's very, very careful where those paws are being placed. And this is part of the kind of yoga experience where we're moving. I'm just going to stop the video. Where the dogs are moving, they're small, precise muscles instead of those big muscles that we move when we run and jump and take walks. And you'll see coming up here shortly how he goes around this mop head. Very interesting. You can see how precise he is with his legs. And it's not unusual for dogs to just take a quick pass through the room, not eat all the treats at once, just kind of sniff, 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 see what's going on. This is where he moves really precisely around that mop head. Watch how his paw placements are. Very neat how I'm going to stop the video again, how he was very precise and he did not particularly want to step on that mop head, and how he moved his paws just so around that. He knew exactly where he was going. And like I said, they don't always come in and eat every treat that they see right away. They kind of get a lay of the land, and then they'll take, a round two. Here we go again in the snuffle mat. Going through some of our other items. Again, big paw lifts here. He's going to be very precise when he moves over those areas. You can see him starting to pant already. I think this was very tiring for him. This is a lot of work. And right here, and I don't know if it's because he's turned a little bit, but you can see he has a lot of weight placed on his right front leg. Not so much weight placed on that left. And that'll be something I think to watch throughout the video, is to see if he does place more weight on this right leg, which I think he does. Dogs tend to be 60-40 as far as weight balance. Sometimes when they get older or they have some hip problems, some joint problems, that weight gets distributed a little bit differently, and that's where I think, especially for older dogs, we have to be watchful that we're not getting something going on in a joint or arthritis or muscle stiffness or pain or something like that. But he's on the snuffle or lick mat right now. He stays there for a little bit and takes some of that food. That's wet dog food that was fish flavor. Most dogs like to get a little bit of that. A little bit of water because sniffing is very drying. And a nice boop on the camera. I always love the little boops. So cute. And he'll come through and he'll take the same path, like right through this. He'll enter again onto the left side of the room. It's funny how dogs will sometimes take the same path through the room. He's on the outside of the room. He's going to cut in and he's going to come down the middle this time. He's going to play around with some of our soft items. then back to the lays. He seems to like snuffling through those. Again, I think he's a little heavy on that right front. I think dogs always prefer these softer items to sniff through. I think he needed lots of breaks because this was a lot for him. Here he comes into the mop head again. That's not such an easy snuffle mat to do, that mop head, because it has a lot of little strings and those treats get stuck in there and they really have to stick their nose in it. So not a lot of dogs love that mop head. That's just a regular snuffle mat that he's using right here. He's going over the Cavaletti poles. Very, very nice with his paw placement. Very precise. You can see he's really starting to pan a little bit more. He's getting some wrinkles on the side of his face. This is very tiring for him. He'll come around that same route. And I think he was looking out the window at this point. I don't know if Missy came into the room at this point or not. But here again he enters the same way. He takes kind of the same route, but now he's cutting through the middle, going into the noisy pan, but he didn't put his nose in the noisy pan, just kind of looked at those water bottles. I think he was preoccupied with what was going on out in the hall, whether Missy was coming in and he knew it. Another little drink. And if he does this room again, which we're doing it again in June, I'd like to elevate more items for him. Maybe an elevated snuffle mat. And see if that would be more comfortable for him. And those are the paint rollers. Dogs love those. I've had several dogs take them in their mouth and kind of use them as a little bit of a toy, but they like to bop them out of the paint roller tray. Back to the normal snuffle mat, and then back again to you or Missy. I think he smells the treats that I had up on the counter. A lot of dogs do. And I think right here he's starting to tell us, yeah, this was fun, but I think I've had enough, Mom. So it's almost 12 minutes in. That's not bad. Like I said, a lot of dogs time out at around 10 to 15 minutes, so that's about what we see. Panting here. You can see the little wrinkles in his face, so he is starting to get a little bit tired. But he still wants to keep going because he sees Missy back there. And he's getting some of the treats that he missed the first round through. And I think this is the first time he went through the pool. And you can see his precise placement of those feet on the pool. Even though I have the mats on the pool, walking through it, the pool does move a little bit, so it feels a little bit different to their feet when they walk through it. I find a lot of dogs will not get into a pool unless there's openings there. In the next room, I think I may have a pool with some balls in it, but just have like one opening here. I think he goes the whole way through here, but I'm going to stop the video right here. And he's definitely putting a lot more weight on this leg. And this leg, and I don't know if it's because he was tired, but it was quivering just a little bit. I'm just going to back up just for a second, and we'll go through that again and just watch him go through the pool. When he stands still, watch his left leg, front leg. It quivers just a little bit right there. And I don't know if it's because the pool was a little unstable and it's hard for him to keep his balance in there because of the micro movements of the pool, or if he's just really getting tired from all this movement. And that tends to be his little bit of a weaker leg. But I don't know if he goes the whole way through on this or not, but no, he comes right back out. And probably because that was a tight corner, that it was hard for him to navigate the whole way through. Those are easy little bath scrunchies for dogs to snuffle through. A lot of people think their dog's going to rip those up, but I've never had a dog rip it up. It seems that they know that this is to sniff through and not to chew and eat. And again, he's still really careful with his paw placement around that snuffle mat. I'm just going to take this up a little bit faster to normal speed, because I don't think he does too much after this. I think he's pretty much done. I think he may go through the room once or twice more, but just kind of as a cursory move and not really exploring, but just kind of walking through. And I'm just going to stop the video here because I'm pretty sure this is where you are getting his leash on. We were just kind of chatting in the side of the room here. So I'm going to stop the video for this. But it was really interesting to see Bumpus in the room, and I really appreciate you coming to this event and seeing the things that we can do with this, and Yeah, I'd like to see him again. If you want to bring him again, or one of your other dogs, it would be fun to see him again and see how he does, and maybe modify the room a little bit differently for him. Like I said, and put some things, more elevation, like on these things back here. Put some snuffle mats and some other items that he can get higher, and see if his weight distribution gets a little bit better if we can elevate things. Thanks, Gail.